All right, what is up, guys? Trade breakdown. Basically, walk through my trade that I took today live. I'm gonna go over each confluence, my sizing, how much I was risking, and break it down through each time frame as well. So, yeah, today was the 25th, so November 25th, 2025. Yeah, and it was during New York AM. I took this trade after you can't really see my key time because it's a next day, but basically took this trade after the 4 hour. That was one of the main reasons, was based off the 4 hour time frame. But let's just break down. I might break down the market as well, what I was looking for, my biases, and kind of my rules going into the day as well. Because I kind of have a rule set going into each day, based off where the market is, and what I kind of need to happen, if that makes sense, or like what I need to see for my trade to be valid or not, or for me to take a long or a short, if that makes sense. So we'll just remove everything, break it back down, pull up ES as well. Where we at? Over here. So we'll remove all this as well. Okay, cool. So the first thing that I noticed is I actually had a bearish bias, and the reason for that is we're going to start on the higher time frame. So if we come over here on the 4 hour, we can even go to the daily, but we'll get to that. So we'll base this off the 4 hour first. Actually, I'm gonna mark out our daily open because that was one key factor. So if we're looking at Tuesday, which was technically yesterday now, our key open would be just daily open. It's where our daily candle opens, which is 3 p.m. PST. So we'll just like mark that out. I'm marking out this body, so 96625. Just marking out to the left so we can actually see it. Wait, what is it? 96625. Because if I put it, okay, that works. Whatever. Okay, cool. So when we had, where's 3 p.m. This is Thursday. I'm tripping. Okay, so technically it's Archer Day opens at Monday night. So it's like Monday at 3 p.m. Okay, cool. So yeah, you can see this Archer Day open right here. This candle here on the 4 hour, because this is Monday at 3 p.m. So it's Archer Day open. And you can kind of see like mid time frame would be more like kind of like easier to realize. Is we definitely we can start. Yeah, we'll start with sessions. So during Asia, we definitely just like consolidated. Once London opened, we did have some manipulation. That's where like the best short was, I'd say, and that was off of daily open, which you can see here. And the reason for that is if we look at our higher time frame, so we'll base this off the hourly. Is I was looking at this current leg, bearish leg, to see like where we would get somewhat of a short or a rebalance of this leg, and you can kind of see we were in a higher time frame premium, and we had unfilled higher time frame gaps. It's literally as simple as that. So if we like ignore these candles right here on the hourly, we can already see we have, you know, multiple unmitigated higher time frame PD arrays, and we also have like order blocks. Like we can get onto that and stuff like that. But we had a ton of stuff. So we'll start this on the 4 hour. Okay, first I'll break down the short. We'll just go over that. So the reason I wanted a short was daily open, targeting internal. So like these unfilled gaps I just talked about. If we go to ES as well. Cool. So we had this bearish SMT when we came and tapped the daily open on NQ. So this is daily open here. Daily open is here. Again, draws were pretty clear, like my DOL. And we had an SMT. And then we can see at 5:30, this is the short that I wanted. With this rejection off daily open, I'm assuming this is now a protected high. The daily is failing to flip. So this is like a protected high. And I need some form of like internal or external liquidity. So we had like this internal high. However, with time frame alignment, if we go to the hour, or if you look at time, right? So like this is 4:45. I don't trade right before a new hourly opens, and this is exactly why. It's like when we sweep this internal high here, which I'll go into the entry part of this that I saw. We didn't have like our hourly open yet. So I wanted to wait for the hourly to look at like at this rejection block, and then to really precise it, like get like a precise entry. What I would have preferred was this 15-minute. And yeah, that was literally it. So 15-minute rejection block with our hourly like time frame alignment, and then we're rejecting off daily open, and then targeting like our internal draws, which I'll get into. So yeah, that was the short. Didn't take it. Wasn't awake. So let's start this on the 4 hour. Go into my bias. I even said this in the live. Since I missed my short, I'm going to be looking for longs, but I need to be in 600s for longs. And the reason for that is I just follow higher time frame structure when looking at liquidity and like just like an entry. So like you can see here, like we swept a shit ton of lows. Like we obviously, this is a strong V-shaped recovery on the higher time frame. I'm pretty sure we have like a weekly SMT as well. I know we had that a minute ago. I don't know if it held. Yeah, we did. Wait, no, we didn't. Well, we had a weekly SMT at some point. I don't know. I'm tripping. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Bullish structure, right? That simple. Now, when I use like the fib tool, these are my settings, like 0, 1, 0.5, which is equilibrium, 0.62 to 0.79, which is like my OTE range. And like a lot of people might go from like this low to this high or something like that. Be like, oh, we have an order block. But again, I just follow higher time frame structure. So I would look at when we create this order block. So this bearish candle in the 4 hour, once we close above that wick high, this is now like an order block. So I treat this as our new low. Oops. Oh, yeah, that's correct. And I'll just go low to high. And that is like our higher time frame, like leg that I'm looking at. And then we compare time frames, which we'll get on to that. So the first thing I'm looking at is like, oh, but like we already mitigated this 4 hour, like why shouldn't we be bullish? Is the first thing is like this gap here, like this fair value gap on the 4 hour. Yes, it's mitigated now. However, we're not in any type of higher time frame discount. So I'm gonna only look at PD arrays or levels under equilibrium, which to like really make all this simple, EQ is equilibrium. So it's like 50% of a range, 50% of like a leg, 50% of a session. You can use it in many ways. That's like what I usually mainly use it for. I use like consequent encroachment for PD arrays, equilibrium for ranges, legs, and sessions. So again, not looking at any PD arrays or levels above equilibrium when I'm looking for longs, because I'm looking for a discount for longs, right? So first thing we notice is this unmitigated 4 hours under equilibrium and consequent encroachment, which is this white line right here, which is 50% of the gap, aligns with 0.62 of our range. And then if we go not to the daily, the hourly, it's like as simple, like if you are ever like struggling with like what higher time frame PD array, or really any PD array to trade off of, it's like we have like, you know, one gap here, two gaps, and then like a third gap. It's just like really just zoom out, look at our higher time frame range or leg, use the fib even, or just make sure it's like equilibrium, premium, and discount, depending whatever your bias is and whichever way you're looking for. So yeah, we have this unfilled hourly as well. 15-minute, I was looking at this rejection block. However, it's invalid in my eyes because there's a gap here. So even though it was pretty nice alignment. And then even on the 5-minute, this looked really nice as well. Same exact thing here. The 5-minute did look nice, but we never came down to that. So already looking at like the higher time frame we actually hit like 0.62, like OTE of our higher time frame leg on the like to the exact tick. Like it literally no drawdown delivered, you know, like 500 points, which is nuts. I don't take limit orders like that though. Based off of, I execute on the 1 minute. I have like 10 to 25 point stops depending on what my entry is. And then I just base my sizing off of that. And I'm not going to take a limit order with a 10 to 25 point stop based off of like a 4 hour or an hourly like range. So that's kind of crazy to me. So yeah, let's go back into this. Something else we can notice is like, okay, if we're looking for longs, what are we gonna be targeting first off? First thing I mark out is always like our open, it is a key open as well as like our New York open. So you can see, I'll mark this in like green. So this is like our New York open. You can see the 630 candle at West Coast. So New York open. It's the first thing I mark out, and we didn't have an SMT with these highs, relatively equal highs here. This was actually my target. Relatively equal highs, boom. Okay, cool. So that was my draw. However, there could have been like way higher draws. You could have literally went for daily open or for the daily to entirely flip because we didn't really have a wick to the upside much. But we also had news. So it was like the worst news candle I've ever seen, but we did have data highs here. So we had data highs. That was a draw as well. And yeah, so we had a lot of draws and liquidity to the upside, trading out of higher time frame PD rays. Really simple. The hardest part of identifying this is just more of just basic stuff of like looking at our range, time frame alignment, and then like more of an entry part to not get caught in this chop, which I did. So I can't really talk there. But anyways, so first thing, I waited to obviously for this to hit. You can see at 650 we hit like my level, we hit OTE on the dot. Consequent encroachment of our lower 4-hour unmitigated gap, which was in OTE or under equilibrium, so it's in a higher time frame discount for longs. And you can kind of see like this whole V-shaped reaction here. Very strong, like, you know, buyback looked really good. And then the first thing, instantly I was like, okay, entry, it's going to be off of the 4-hour. So we're going to wait for the 4-hour to open, which is 7 a.m. my time, or the 10 a.m. open, right? Then the 10 a.m. open, and we can see that happen here. I'll mark this out in, yeah, let's do blue. Blue, and we'll throw a little text box on. Key opens are really simple. Let me know if y'all want a video on key opens. I'll do that, I guess. Simple shit. So 10 a.m. open, boom. We didn't have an SMT either. If we go to ES, where am I? I'm on the 4-hour. Wow. Okay. Nice. Okay. Cool. So you can see this 4-hour open didn't take this internal high either. And we also left, wow, I suck at this. We also left an unfilled 15-minute. So with that 10 a.m. open, you see here, this 15-minute gap and time frame alignment, an unfilled 30-minute, were unfilled. They were unmitigated. So another internal draw at least. So if it's going to be, you know, continue to be bearish, we can at least assume 10 a.m. the 4-hour is going to make a wick to the upside and tap into like some unmitigated gap. And if you look at, you know, what I mean by wick is like if you look at every single candle, no matter the time frame, they tend to have a wick to the up and the downside. Like it's like just basic shit. So entry now. First thing I looked at, so I'm gonna delete everything now. Besides, I'm gonna delete all this stuff down here. So entry, 4-hour rejection block was my first idea, right? However, I get into why I didn't take that. So you can see this 4-hour close was very like that's a bullish close in my eyes. Like we trading out of a higher time frame PD raise, we hit my level, we respected it, and we're at least inversing or invalidating lower time frame bearish PD raise. So I marked out this 4-hour wick, hourly aligns, 30-minute. And then if we look at the 15 minutes, my favorite time frame. So these are rejection blocks. So grab my OTE tool, look at the range of this leg, right? If I'm looking to get in the long, right? That's why I went long, like, you know, this fair value gap here, because it's 4 minutes before our 4-hour or 10 a.m. opens. It's like I'm not my bias is bullish, I want to see a bearish open to catch the wick going down on the 4 hour. That makes sense. Like, again, like each candle has a wick to the up and the downside for the most part, like 99% of the fucking time. So it's like if I'm long, if I'm bullish, we have a 10 a.m. open, which is like a key open. It's the new 4 hour, right? During like the most volatile session. I want to see a wick to the down end first before flipping, right? So, boom. Didn't also like, what the fuck was this? 85-point candle. I'm good off that. So I didn't limit this. I told everyone, I was like, if we come down to OTE, we do have a 15-minute here. I'll just look for it. I'm not going to limit order anything around here. I'll just look for a good reaction and take it off that. Not really. I don't wait for inverses or anything like that, really. So you can see 15-minute rejection block here. Respected. We're still on the 4 hour. So I got filled right where it was like 7:12.50, I believe. Yeah, it was like right here was my long. So basic shit. 5-minute. Also, I did want to see what I preferred would have been an SMT with this 5-minute low. So you can see 7:05 open here. I wanted to see NQ or ES take out this low, and then I would have just hopped in. However, we just respected this low, so I was like, okay, we're gonna go. So, boom, long. I was like, okay, let's wait for the next 1 minute. Dumps a bit. I pressed buy, right? I literally just pressed buy. Got filled at 7:12.50, and where was my stop loss? Pretty volatile session, so I ran the 5-minute body low. Again, 5-minute didn't. How I said before, I wanted to see a 5-minute that 5-minute open take the previous 5-minute low. However, we failed to, so my stop was 25 points, the 5-minute body low. And my TP were these relatively equal highs. Okay, cool. Now, did I hit TP? No, I did not. Did we make money? Yes. Okay, so let's break it down. What happened? Why did I not hit TP? Good question. So, first thing, my break even, let me get into that because I do go break even on trades with reason. Even my students ask me, they're like, bro, how you you didn't get break even on this? My first rule is it has to be at least a 2 RR. My RR like ranges per month. I track it per month. It depends. I mean, I've been trading gold a lot more. My RR has gone like higher, but my run rate has gone like a bit lower, I'd say. So if I like, okay, like let's say this like unmitigated 1 minute. I mean, I guess that's a 2 R, right? Like a 2 R would literally be like right here. So no, like that rule was fine. It's the first thing I look at as my rules. That was the first thing. But there's no reason for me to get caught in chop. Like this happens. Like this is something you just have to be okay with. There's no reason for me to like get caught in chop, take a great trade, be patient, have an A+ setup like this, and me to go break even just purely because we're consolidating a bit, and also to go break even because I'm scared to lose money. Like I was risking 25 points, which is like the max I like to risk per trade. So instead of taking a mini, I took 5 micros. You can do the math. It was across 5 accounts on Top Step. So 5 micros, risking 25 points, targeting 167. Okay. So it was like, yeah, it was like a 6.5 RR. 6.5 RR. So, okay, break even. My break even was when we hit the 10 a.m. because I didn't want to see us reject. I wanted to see us make new highs. And it's based off reasoning. If we reject the 10 a.m., fail to make a new high on the 4 hour, and then we make new lows on the 4 hour, my bias is wrong. I'm in the wrong direction. So I want to be out of it, risk free. All right, and it's already like from entry, it's already 100 points. So that would have been, 4R. So what else would I have gone break even of? If ES, because I look at SMTs, right? So this is, let me mark these out. Start 10 a.m. open. And keep in mind that unfilled 15 and 30 minute that I was talking about because our 4 hour never took that high. Oh wait. Oh yeah, ES looks like shit. I forgot. It was on NQ. That was the unfilled 15. Anyways. If ES had taken this high we made an SMT, which we didn't, then I would have gone break even. So what else do I need to look at with ES? Okay, where's my targets? These highs that were relatively equal on NQ, but mainly data highs, which is 530, right? Okay, so you can see we never like made an SMT when we were just consolidating, or we never really made an SMT. You can't really consider that an SMT with like a key open. Like we hit the 10 a.m. and we rejected, but like that doesn't matter to me. So like on ES, like during this consolidation on NQ, like you can see we hit the 10 a.m. on ES at 7:10, and at 7:10 we were just like sitting here. So what else do we leave? Equal highs. I know they're on the 1 minute, so it's kind of like doesn't really matter as much, but still like good to see. So boom, finally broke out of consolidation. Hit the 10 a.m. I went break even. Bada beam, bada boom. And then let me explain why I didn't hit full TP on this. So I marked out this 15-minute, which looked like a decent short if we created an SMT. Right, we're already trading out of this gap here on the 15-minute, right? And we have like bearish structure. So if we're gonna respect structure, this is like an area I wouldn't mind shorting. So let's see what happened there. Yeah, you can see the reaction. It delivered 100 points with 5 points of drawdown. So, but why was it so strong? Like that's the real question. Like I got stopped out at 130 something points. Yeah, it was the body low of this 1 minute. Like I literally wanted to see this retrace of this 1 minute and then just a push through. Unless if it was gonna break this lower gap, I thought we were gonna be bearish. So let's look at time now. So when we hit this, it was 7:45. Let's look at ES 7:45. You can see, I'm gonna highlight the candles. This is the 7:45 candle on ES. And this is the 7:45 candle on NQ. Okay, what did ES take out? Fucking like literally everything. So we had a pretty fat SMT. So I was like, okay, let's like, I've been in this trade for how long? 7:06. Yeah, it's like 40 minutes. I was like, I'm not about to get break even for fucking, 8 points. I'm good off that. So, or I guess I missed out on 35 points. So, yeah, I got filled the body low of that gap, and that was the trade. Bada beam, bada boom. Created an SMT with my targets. I'm not going to close. I'm just going to heavy trail. That's how I manage. People who hate on that, I don't care. And yeah, that was that was the trade. I'm trying to see if I forgot anything. I mean, definitely could have held it, a bit fucking longer. What the fuck? I didn't even look at NQ the rest of the day. Holy shit. Man. Alright, anyways. Take your piece of your pie and get out of there. So yeah, that was the trade. Pretty simple. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Yeah, that was the trade for Tuesday, November 25th. If you guys got questions, let me know in the comments, or if you're watching this from Discord, DM me, at me in general. Yeah. Damn, that was 25 minutes. Later, y'all.